So welcome. Finally have you on my new little series. I don't know where I'm going with this, but we'll do different things.
Okay.
When your teeth are shining super bright. I know you're excited for this, but chill. Okay.
I have nice.
So people, if people don't already know you by now, why don't you tell the people who you are? Let's start with who are you?
I'm Wayne Carroll.
Dang, you doing government? Super excited. Can you turn it down? It's picking up. Go ahead.
Oh, what do you want me to tell the people about?
Who are you? Who are you? What do you do?
I'm just an average Joe trying to make a mark in this planet, basically. I'm a father. I'm a husband. And I'm also an artist.
Okay.
And just trying to, like I said, make a mark for myself. Just trying to provide for my family in the best way I can.
Okay.
Yeah, just your average Joe. Happy to be here. I'm loving it. I'm excited to be on your new little thing.
It's not a little thing. All right. So let's start with, obviously, you are a regular Joe that also does music. How did you get started? Tell us a little bit about your background into music and what made you get into it. What was your inspiration behind it? How did you start? Where did this all come from for you to get into music?
Honestly, that's a really good. I never really got asked that question, but
that's why it's your first. We do first
here.
To
be honest, long story short, it started.
Long story short. What is that?
Short. Yes. It started with actually me having an ear for house music. So I'm the youngest out of 4, and my brother and my sisters, they all listen. Well, yeah, my sisters and my brother, they listen to a lot of house music. And I just like the way, like when you grow up in a household hearing a certain type of music or hearing songs or whatever, they stick with you. So they always played house music, and they would always, in my opinion, have these mixtapes. Back then it was tapes, like actual tapes. So they would always tapes, these cassettes of DJs that mix these house songs. And it was always like, I just thought it was the hottest stuff in the world. Like that's when music really caught my ear. And I started paying attention to like music. So then from there, it never grew into anything where it was like, oh man, I want to do music. It was just like, oh, I understand music. I like music,
Right.
Fast forward to me in 4th grade. I'm literally thinking about this as I'm telling you. So fast forward to 4th grade, we had moved to Maplewood. And then when we moved to Maplewood, I was, these older cats, there was a couple grades older than me, and, his name was Jamie, and I would go up to his house. We used to play ball with his brother or whatever, play ball in a basketball court. But then one ended up going up in his attic, and he had a sampler. And he would sample, music from older records or whatever. And that's when I first learned about sampling and mixing, because he was mixing the samples in with newer stuff. So right there, that's when it caught my interest. I was like, damn, this is crazy how you can make something from nothing. So, it started there. It really just started there. It started with me seeing that first day in the attic, how you could take something and, nothing, and make something out of it. Or just take pieces of, little things and create your own sound. And that's what really got me started with wanting to do music, just being able to make something out of nothing.
So basically it was what you were surrounded by growing up, by your siblings and the type of music they were listening to, and then different places you kind of went along the way that had that same idea, and then you just felt it to go with it and run with it and make it your own.
It was just something about music that caught me. And then once I got into creating it, it was at that moment I realized, damn, this could be an outlet for me.
Yeah.
I really fell in love with it. I really fell in love with the creative aspect.
So how old were you when you started?
When I started taking it serious, I want to say, when I really started taking it serious, I was in high school.
Okay. So over 20 years.
Correct.
And you've been dedicated through and through consistently.
Yeah.
Over 20 years.
Absolutely.
Okay. So obviously, you know, you're a person that has your regular 9 to 5. You also commit to your music, which has been your craft. I mean, obviously everybody hopes they can make some type of income from, you know, a craft or a hobby or whatever they have too, because you're obviously dedicating so much time into that as well. You know, it's not just something you're doing for fun for but so long.
Right.
Where are you with that? Like, where has it brought you? What have you gained from it? Have you, you know, like, have you seen growth with this? Is it something that, you know, for people that are like you, underground artists, anybody that started off like you, where has it brought you after 20 something years now? Where do you see yourself at this point?
That's a good one. It has, I'll be honest with you, it hasn't brought me to where I want to be.
Okay.
Damn, that's a good one. Yeah, it hasn't brought me where I want to be.
A little bit, please.
And it may have not gotten me the notoriety that I would like to have, but it has gotten me some credibility. It has gotten me some notoriety. But I mean, yeah, after 20 years, you know, you do have your doubts. You know, you
Down, please.
your thoughts, like, you know, certain points on that journey, you'll stop and think, like, is this for me, or am I wasting my time?
Right.
I dedicated a lot, and I think now thinking about it, a lot of me not being where I want to be is because I dedicated a lot of my personal time when I should have been developing myself. I was busy developing others, and I was working on others, and I was the time that I should have had for myself, I was sharing with others. Now I don't see that in a way to be like, oh man, I wasted my time on these people. But the reality is, now that I think about it and the journey that I've been on and the things that have transpired out of that journey with those people and certain people along that journey, maybe I did waste my time. Maybe, you know, I should have been focused on myself. I was so busy just trying to get there that I wasn't worried about how to get there. And I think that kind of threw me off. And, you know, nothing against anybody. It's just, you know, I did spend a lot of time focusing on other people when I should have been focused on myself. And now that I'm in the space where I'm focused on myself, I feel like, you know, this push that I'm giving it right now, especially with the last two projects I dropped, Modus Operandi 1, Modus Operandi 2. You know, I'll be honest with you, and this is the first time that anybody hit this, but I am thinking about considering these next few projects I got coming out, which will not be a lot, being my last push, being my last run, because not to say that, you know, I'm giving up, but I'm smart. And I just know when, you know, if you know, you know, as they say in the street. And, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, the reality is I'm not trying to be 40, 45, 50, still trying to get into music. You know, if I can consult, or if people still think that, you know, I'm worth my worth, then they want to consult with me, I'll be more than happy to do that. But I think, you know, it just hasn't gotten me where I thought in 20 years. And the path that I took was unexpected, but that's a part of the journey. You learn from your journey. That's what you learn from. You learn and grow from that. And, you know, it is what it is. And then you get people in your ear that make you think. You know, you'll get close ones telling you, like, well, are you just, you know, maybe you're just chasing a dream. Maybe you're chasing something that's not going to ever happen. And it's hard for you to hear that after you've invested so much time and so much money, not only into yourself, but other people. And then, you know, when, you know, they don't understand how that affects you, asking a question like that, do you feel you already are?
But you know what I want to say is also, like, I was on your sisters, your niece, you know, our friends. We were at one point, we were a promotional team. We were just out there hustling your CDs, out here pushing. I mean, we weren't doing street level pushing. We were doing industry pushing. I mean, Russell Simmons, Neo, shoot, I can't even, J. Cole.
that's the stuff that makes me think like.
But what I was gonna say is
like that has to be something when stuff
right,
like.
But what I was gonna say is we've handed CDs to everybody and their mother and Def Jam and the whole industry, Hot 97, where all of this was, you know, at the time where you're giving out CDs, and it's not social media heavy, and you know, cats out here in the industry was really not trying to hear anything. A lot of them, they'll say, "Yeah, I got you," and then it's all kind of like industry talk, because I feel like maybe when they was going through the same things you was going through, that's just how they feel. Like nobody was helping me then, so why do I have to help somebody? Yeah. But I feel like when you've invested 20 something years of your time, whether it's a regular 9-to-5 job, whether it's, you know, committing to a project, whatever it is, a home improvement project, a music project, an art, whatever, I feel like something has to give eventually. Maybe it's all with the timing, but I do feel like experiencing this with you from where I was watching, it's obviously something very hard. I don't think it's something that everybody could do. A part of me felt like a lot of people was just doing it to do it. Yeah, I'm a rapper. Look, at one point I even had fun with that. I was like, yeah, I can rap, I can do this. Anybody can probably do that, especially now with Google and all types of stuff. But I felt like there are people that's talented that, you know, I've heard plenty of DJs and stuff say, like, nobody's going to ever hear you from your house or your basement or wherever you are. It takes a lot. And you could easily lose motivation. But I feel like if you have a knack or a talent for something like that, that should always go on regardless, you know.
Let me, and now that you, while you were saying that, not to cut you off, I was thinking about that journey, right? And there's a lot that plays into where I am because, you know, I'm loud, I'm noticeable, and I've always had the dream of having a label, of building a label from the very ground up. And I've always thought that with anybody that's ever recorded with me or knows me, they know that's how I've been with that. Whether you want to call me an a-hole or whatever, because I wanted to drive the ship exactly to where it wanted to go.
Yep.
So be it. But somebody had to drive the boat, right?
Right.
So I've always like opened the door and had a lot of people, always invited other ideas and people to see like, all right, so how can we push this forward? How can we push this forward? I've always did that, you know, but for whatever reason, it's never worked out like that. And because I've done that, I've been the forefront of a lot of rises and falls. I like, and anybody that knows me, they know I use that term when I'm about to go into the story that I'm going to describe now. So when it first was really bumping, like we were, you know, in the very beginning of everything, when I really started to get notoriety for my skill and my craft, it happened in DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And that was due to my cousins and them and their connections out there and them getting me shows with the people that they know, and they were very well connected. I mean, I've opened up for a turkey bash, which is a big go-go event. Hip hop at a go-go event is not even heard of. And I was the only hip hop act open.
You had joints on the radio.
You know what I'm saying? Like they got spun on the radio, and everything was going well, but there was a life event that happened, and when that life event happened, the business side of it, I don't care who you are, if you're human, when the certain life event that happened, it had to take a seat. Business had to take a seat because I understood this person's hurt, you know. And the people, you know, let me just put it out there, being honest, you know, I had people backing me, and this person, my cousin, lost his mother, and I understood that hurt because I lost my mother. So how dare I say, yo, the show got to go on? Cause how we going to just stop everything? That's stupid.
But at the end of the day, in real life, everybody does what they got to do for themselves at the end, for them and their family.
Correct.
That's hands down. It doesn't. That was
that was in the prime of everything when that happened. So cool.
Right.
Things happened, and that set that ship a course on a different path.
Right.
Things started to kick back up. Me, Dub, B-Raw, we started getting this, you know, little wave going, and you know, we doing the talent shows down at the Key. What was it? The Key Club in North. When racing them joint.
I think so.
And then for when we did the tryouts there, then we took it to SOBs in the city.
Yes.
So we had that whole wave going, and then, you know, unfortunately something, you know, went on with my man B-Raw. He had to shoot back home and handle family business. He had to take care of family. So then that wave subsided. Obviously, you know, guess who face was at the forefront of that, which didn't look good. Yeah. So get another wave going. And that wave, you know,
but getting to the thing is, you went through a rough patch where you had to kind of reassess and see who's around, who can continue this journey with you, who maybe have to take a back seat.
That too, but it was a lot of things that was happening that was out of my control personally, like as far as like the other time when I was going to say when we had a management team, and you know that was working out beautifully, and then for some reason they started to fall back and slack on what they were doing as management, and then that looked like. So my point is, all of these rises and falls led to at one point where it looked like me or Presidential Block, PBDG, always start but never finish. But that wasn't never the case. It was always me trying to incorporate another piece of the puzzle to help push everything forward a bit faster.
But you know what got me, what I noticed from, again, outside looking in with a lot of these things was, I just don't understand how people had that mentality when, if something is, okay, everybody's a team, that's hands down, just like with family, right? Everybody's a team, regardless if you're blood or not. If you're close-knit, you're close-knit. Obviously, if something happens for one person, you need to wait and be patient and let whatever happen be for that one person before they can bring it home to the team. How are you going to bring it home to the team if nobody's established signing deals or getting anywhere yet? And I didn't understand that. Like, that's common sense. If I can't break out and give people money from a lottery that I didn't win yet, like, I gotta win first. I gotta be the one to scratch that. And I didn't understand how people all of a sudden switched up. Everybody, no matter what, if you're a team or not, when you're a group, everybody has to do their part. You cannot be just holding on to one person. And then again, if you want it as that bad, you're gonna do what you gotta do on your own 2 feet, you know? And to me, that's what kind of like, that's what inspired me to get you here to have this dialogue. Cause I'm like, there has to be other people that's out here that's as hungry, that's dedicated 20 something years. A lot of people won't understand the seriousness of a talent and a craft that you've been doing for this long, also while maintaining a 9-to-5, also while maintaining adulthood and responsibilities of being a father, a husband, you know, being a part of your family, being a part of society. It's all things. But what I noticed is you were constantly, you know, you brought everybody along for the ride regardless, and you looked at it like, yo, we'll see how it is, you know, no guarantee, let's all try it. And a lot of people are expecting something out of the try, like you won't know, you know what I mean? You have to,
we're all in this to try together.
Right, with everything, and you have to try a million different projects for something to give. Something's going to be the one thing, you know.
But then it also depends on like the people that you have around you, and you know.
Yeah, and that I'm always one to tell you with energy, and sometimes they might have jived with you 10 years ago, but they may not jive with you 10 years later. It's a whole different wave. And a lot of people bring way too personal stuff into the mix. Yo, with the grind, there's nothing personal. Like, it's, yo, let's do what we got to do to get what we got to get. And we'll discuss those minute details of, yo, you didn't come to my birthday party, or yo, you didn't get me a deal on those sneakers, whatever. I'm just saying, like, later. You know what I'm saying? Like, it bothers me that people are trying to nitpick at things that we don't even have yet. And I'm talking about in general with life, period. Now, going through your growth and everything that you have for over 20 years, you know, with your music, how can I say, like, what advice would you give other underground artists? Like, keep on pushing, hey, try it, and if it doesn't work out, like, what are the things that you do to get your music heard? Like, what is your kind of steps that you take on a day-to-day with your music?
I think that you constantly, once you catch the ear of people and you catch their interest, once you catch their interest, keep at it. Keep pushing out content. keep putting music out there, keep staying in your audience's face, just keep putting content out there and keep working on your craft. Keep perfecting your craft and, you know, stay focused, stay dedicated. And if this is really what you want to do, don't let nothing deter that. Let everything.
But let me ask you this. Now that there's social media, like again, we were out here pushing CDs for you, right? We were out here pushing CDs for you in the middle of Times Square, in all the spots for the hip hop, where all the artists are, producers, radio DJs, everybody. I can name it all. That's a whole nother episode of all the people we've promoted to. In this day and age of social media, what's the way to get connected for people to hear you, support you? What's out there?
A lot of footwork. Honestly, a lot of footwork on social media. Put your links out there. Promote your links. You know, promote your artist page. Spotify, Apple, TIDAL. Just promote your craft. Constantly promote your craft. You have to be about your craft 24/7, 365. I mean, literally, that's what it comes down to. If you are Import P, you're Import P on every post.
And speaking of that, what does that name mean? Where did you, because you went through a couple name changes. So how did you finally get to this one here?
Long story short with that.
Long story short. Thank you.
Yes. So I had a 92 Corolla.
Whoa.
And when I was going back and forth to Maryland.
That's a brutal.
When I was going back and forth to perform.
Yes.
You know, I had this car. And then at one point.
92 Corolla. What color was it? Was it beige?
Yeah. That car gave out. And I had got my Ultima back, which is a long story.
Lime green. What was it? Green.
And then when the Ultima crapped out,
you got a hoopty.
No, actually, I got my family seeing me struggling, and they made a suggestion on a car, and it was a compressor, a C230 compressor. So from Maryland, I drove this Mercedes-Benz C230 compressor home. Because that time that I went out there by train. I drove the compressor home. And the first person to see me with it was Dub, Q Dub. And he goes, I'll scoop him up because we was about to link up and chill or whatever. So he goes, oh, okay, long story short, you know, he came to.
Long story short.
He was like, damn, we gotta call you Import P now. You got the imported Benz,
Oh, so, I didn't even know this.
Yeah, he shortened it.
Wow.
Shortened it to
supercharged.
And we rode out with that. We rode with Import P.
Okay. Now
that's where it came from, but I like the ring of it. So I
mean, it's all right. It's cute. It's different.
Don't hate.
Yara just asked me, why did I say charged? Okay. So how do you, before we end at this episode or this dialogue, what would you, how would you say, like for everybody else, how you balance work, life, music, fatherhood? How do you balance that? Because there's some people that's just solely dedicated to their craft and don't have to really worry about bills and stuff. I don't know how, but they're just kind of still living. I mean, I don't mean to say it like that, but they're still like living at home with their parents, you know, dedicated. They're able, lucky, blessed to be able to just dedicate to their music or their craft until something pops off, right? So how do somebody like you, like how are you balancing? Like
it's just finding a time to do everything.
Okay.
Really, that's what it comes down to. I mean, if you're trying to make something happen, you have to find that balance, right? Like, for example, if you want to lose weight, you have to find, depending on how determined you are to reach whatever goal that may be in your weight loss journey, you have to find the time to work out. Just like how you have to find the time. No, you have to tighten up on your eating habits if you want to lose weight. You got to be more disciplined in your lifestyle if you want to lose weight. So it's the same thing. It's, you know, I want this bad enough to where I'm looking and willing to make it work. So I'll try to find a balance, and 9 times out of 10, that balance ends up with me losing sleep. But the reward, the way I see it, the reward is much greater, you know, and, you know, hopefully that reward comes before I decide to hang up my jersey. But the balance is definitely you know, making sure you spending your job is your job. Your 9 to 5 is your 9 to 5. It's going to take up a third of your life. Sleeping is going to take up the other third. So you technically have 8 hours out of 24 to yourself to get it all right. If you're a family man, you have to spend time with your family. You have to, you know, be a father. You know, you have to be that man that your woman wants you to be. Fit that in into 8 hours. Honestly, you have to find time to make all of the work. But, you know, and that kind of, I think that kind of plays to why I'm not where I want to be after so long, because, you know, I don't have the time dedication as others may have. Because, you know, I have a lot on my plate, but a lot of the, you know, the majority of the things on my plate are serious things. These aren't things where you can be like, all right, let me just lay this track down. I can get to it later. Unfortunately, it's got to be like, I got to handle this and I'll get to the track later. You know, though music is my love, life is real.
Life is real. Now, the battle that I'm going through is like, I know my voice, you know, sounds like Tony Braxton when I sing. So, like, for someone that obviously doesn't have time for vocal lessons, you know, because I'm a mom, I work the 9 to 5, I have other things that I'm working on right now currently as well. Is there any possible way that I could have like auto-tune or something so I could pursue my dream of singing? Because I feel like, you know, it's possible. I feel like I have a lot of emotion and things I can share with the world to inspire on a vocal level.
Yeah, there's definitely auto-tune.
Because sometimes I feel like you hate on me because you don't want me to be that true singer, you know? But we'll work on that at another time. Now, before we wrap up, please tell me where they can find your latest album, your latest body of work, your social media handles. I'll also include it on underneath the video, you know, for people to check you out. But where are you right now? Like, you have some deals, you have some videos. Like, what do you have going on? Share with the people.
All right, so right now, Modus Operandi 2 just came out.
Modus Operandi 2.
Operandi.
Okay, what does that mean? Like, is that Creole?
Yeah, it is, actually. You can look it up.
Sock my said to all my Haitian people. I didn't even know that. Are you serious? I swear to God.
What?
I did not know that's Creole.
What, that wording?
Is the wording Creole?
No, I thought you said, is it real? I was going to say, yeah, it's real. No, it's not.
Still sock my said to my Haitian people.
No, it's not Creole.
Modus operandi. What does this mean?
Modus operandi, it's Latin.
What does it mean?
Really, it just means the reason behind in which something works, or the reason behind why something.
The reason why something twerks?
The reason why something does what it does.
Okay. So that's your latest album.
Yes. Well,
where can they find that?
Modus Operandi is a series of projects. That's just but there's 2 parts out right now. The latest part came out, part 2 came out July 31st. You can find my music on any streaming platform, Spotify, TIDAL, Apple Music, YouTube, anywhere. You just Google me. I'm out there.
I mean, so I have another question. Like, I noticed you do a lot of videos, but is it because you can't afford my services that you can't have me on one of your videos? I mean, it's quite all right. I have other offers on the table. I'm just concerned.
That's not even the case.
Oh, okay. We'll discuss my contract and my availability at another time as well.
Cameos.
No, I don't do cameos. Okay, I'm not somebody that's going to order drink. No. Okay. So this was great. I'll see if my people, you know, my viewers are interested in another dialogue with you. I'm sure they'll know where to reach you. Okay.
Are you reading the comments?
I'm not reading the comments. I'm saying if my viewers, you know, whoever's been on this
all her viewers, I want y'all to go out there, listen to my joint, Modus Operandi 2. You could just search me. Letter MPORT.
You're too close.
And you can search me on any streaming platform out there.
Thank you, Tina.
What you think? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, follow me on Instagram, man, at MPORTP. Okay? Follow me on Twitter.
Quitter?
_
You said quitter.
I said
You
Twitter.
just said quitter. You're tired. It's
All right,
Twitter.
now let me put my handles out there. We're done here.
No, I told you let you put it under the video. Okay, so I want to thank you. The album is fire. The one, the only Oda Phoenix.
Yes.
Who is that? Do I know the only Oda Phoenix? Black Phoenix. Isn't that your song? Is it Black Phoenix? What is your song called, Wayne?
Black Phoenix.
Okay.
But that's a different, he has nothing to do with that.
I know, but his name is Phoenix. How sway is that? That's a song. That's who? OZ Bravo?
Yes.
Hi, OZ Bravo. Thank you, guys. Okay, so guys, thank you for tuning in with my little series with Mr. Import P. Let me know in the comments if you want to see this brother again. He's a nice guest. He's very suited. He also produces well, no, actually, I've been doing my own productions. But thank you. And I'm going to put this up on YouTube so you guys can check it out if you haven't already. Bye. All right, come downstairs. We need to put you out to sleep. Bye.
No.